All right, so congratulations, Daytuan. Engaging Fathers Task Forces in our meetings really discussed who's going to have that coveted role, right, for June. Who's going to be our June Father of the Month? You've always been a longstanding supporter for our fatherhood movement and the things that we do. So, just on behalf of the Buffalo Fatherhood Initiative and our Engaging Fathers Task Force, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I just want to take a moment, if you want to just tell us about yourself, your name, your occupation, tell us about your family.
Okay. Well, my first name is Daytuan. Last name is Antonetti. I am the Say Yes Community School Navigator here at School 30, Frank State Academy. I've been here now for about 5 years here at this school. Family-wise, I'm married. I have a beautiful wife. I have 4 beautiful daughters and a grandson. So I just joined the grandfather club, The gray hairs have already started coming in a long time ago. But yeah, so, father of 4 beautiful girls and a grandson, and, just out here working, staying on the grind.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell us about your relationships with them. What are their names and ages, and what's your relationship with each of your daughters like?
So I'll start from the youngest to the oldest. So My youngest daughter, her name is Nyla Antonetti. She's 9 years old. My next daughter is Milana Antonetti. She's 10 years old. Then we have Betsy Bauzo. She's 16 years old. And then we have Gabriella Bauzo, who is 19. She's going to be 20. And then we have our grandson, which is Kair. He's about 4 months old. So, with every kid, you have a different relationship, right?
That's right.
No relationship is the same, but, love them all dearly. My 2 youngest ones, those like my ride and die buddies, wherever I go, they right next to dad, they on the hip. So wherever I'm at, you'll see them too. My 2 oldest ones, they're both now getting to that age where, their life is taking them in different directions. So my 16-year-old, she's working a lot. And then now we have our 19-year-old who's mommy. So, she's taking care of her little man there. But, relationship-wise, I'm there as their father, their stepfather, because, again, I'm in a blended family,
Right.
So that's why I have that role of a father, a stepfather, and a husband, so, and now having a step-grandson. So it's just a lot of different dynamics, but I love it. It keeps you on your toes. Every day is a new day. There's something new underneath the horizon of the sun there. But overall, our relationships are good. I try to be there for them for each of their particular roles and things that they have going on within their lives. So just always trying to juggle to be there for them, in time of need. But they keep you going.
Yeah, it's almost like you're checking all the boxes, right? Father, stepfather, grandfather. I mean, you're doing it all. So what do you enjoy most about being a dad?
Whew, I try to ask myself that question a lot, because being a father, being a husband, it's a lot of work, and I look back and, I look at why some fathers didn't stay in the picture, and I can see why some fathers do just kind of throw up their hands and just walk away. But the reward of just being there and seeing the smile on your kid's face is priceless, and not having my father, in the household growing up, it was something that I always wanted to make sure that I didn't go that route. So no matter how tough things may get, I want to always be there for my children. And, when you have God at the center of it all, on those tough days when you feel like you want to throw your hands up, he always sends someone to give you an encouraging word, whether it's your inner circle of friends, your colleagues, your coworkers, whoever, a stranger. It's always something that comes by and gives you that added boost to say, no, keep going. You can do this. I'll never put more on you than you can bear. So, you just keep saying that, and then, you look at the word and you get those inspirations, and it just gives you the power and the strength to continue on. So.
Amen. So, what's funny is my next question was going to be, how do these things motivate you? And do you have some moments where you're challenged? And I think you already started to talk about that. So, what have described for us just a couple of the challenges you might have faced being a dad?
Well, when I first started off, I started off as a stepfather, right? Because my 2 older stepdaughters, they were the ones that really kind of prepared me for fatherhood before my 2 younger daughters came. So again, being in a blended family, you deal with different personalities. My oldest stepdaughters, they have a father, right? So my role wasn't to come in and try to take his place, but now to come in to help, wherever help was needed. So, I'm grateful that the relationship that I have with their father is one that is a good one. It wasn't one of those situations where, him, myself, and the stepfather or their dad are now, going back and forth beefing. But no, we actually was able to form a relationship, and he acknowledges me as a stepfather and the role that I played in their life. So that made, my wife and I, our marriage that much stronger because we didn't have to deal with the outside force, right? So we were all working together as a team. And even to this point now, we still have that solid, firm, relationship. And, I've been in their life now for 10 years. So I had them when they were 4 and 8. They're now practically grown women. But then, now having my own daughters, just that balance of trying to juggle your relationship with your daughters and then your relationship with your stepdaughters. Because at the end of the day, they have a father, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then their father, their younger sisters, their father is there where their father is not. So just that whole dynamic in itself has always been a challenge in itself. But, we've been able to work our way through it. Has it always been easy? No. Have we had some moments where we butted heads? Yes. But at the end of the day, again, falling back onto your faith and your friends and your family and just being around positive people has continued to help us to move past all of those obstacles. So
that is gold right there, because in our programming, you know as well as anybody, we work with a lot of families who get divided over just those issues.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for being able to be a bridge, so to speak. So as you know, this year our theme is Hope Giver, right? And our conference at the end of the year in October will be around how does a father transfer hope to his children. So how do you provide hope for your children?
I think it's being consistent. My daughters, no matter what I tell them, if I tell them that, tomorrow we're going to go get ice cream, they don't forget. They literally do not forget. And tomorrow will come and they'll be waiting. They won't say much, but then they'll start whispering to each other. I'm like, what y'all whispering about? Nothing. And then if they give you that face of disappointment, I'm like, I know I said I'm going to take you and get some ice cream. I didn't forget. I just had to plan it out. So come on, let's go. Hey! So, it's just keeping to your word, and I think that's something very important is a lot of times, as men, we will say things that we're going to do and then we don't follow through with it. The old saying goes, your word is your bond. So if you can't keep to your word, then your character now becomes shaky because now people can't trust you. And something that I learned at a very young age was that always keep to your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. From my own personal experience, my father, I love my dad. We got a great relationship right now. When I was younger, it was one of those, I didn't see him as much, so when I would see him, yeah, he's my dad, but I kind of see him as just, this male figure in my life. But it was things that he would say he would do that unfortunately he just couldn't follow through with. So that disappointment each time, he said he's going to do it. No, he's not going to do it. And then he didn't follow through, which is something that I didn't want to do when I had kids, But again, I just really say, keeping your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And then, just kind of lets them know that they could depend on that. So that's what I try to do.
Powerful. That's powerful. So overall, I think you've already spoken to this, but why do you think, I know that you think fatherhood is important, but why do you think more organizations need to highlight fatherhood and be involved in that as well?
I mean, it goes back to, it takes a village, to raise a child, right? So we got to all come together, and fathers have been missing from the part for so long. So it's just time that we really start as an organization, as a community, just really starting to reach out to our fathers and try to encourage them to get involved in their child's life. Because it's so important to have the fathers in the home and have fathers connected to the kids. I mean, it's just a big piece that's missing right now.
Absolutely. So let's wrap it up by telling me, what would you say to a father with some of the challenges that you've experienced, fatherhood, step parenting, grandfathering? What would you say to guys like that in order to give them something to hold on to, something to be encouraged to stick in all the time with the same commitment?
I said, don't give up, stay persistent. You're going to have some challenges, but find you some good brothers that you can reach out to and talk to. Because the last thing that you don't want to do is hold it all in. Because once you hold it in, it's going to eat away at you, and you're not going to be able to move forward. It's going to tear you down. And that's the trick of the enemy, is to try to get you by yourself. So when you feel like you by yourself and no one's listening, no one cares, then now you just give up and you walk away. So if you can connect yourself with, one or two good brothers that you can confide in and you can talk to, and you can release what you're going through, that's going to help you out in your day-to-day challenges when it comes to your family. And I'm grateful that I have, some good brothers, good married brothers, like yourself, some brothers from church, folks here at my job that I've been able to confide in, because I couldn't do this by myself. But most of all, because I have a relationship with God as well. That's what gives me my daily strength. So without him, none of this would be possible. And then he's going to bring in the other helpers. And I got this one story, because I got my one brother, right? We've been tight for now over 20 years. I just recently was battling with COVID for a second time. And it was like his mind, his name flashed in my thoughts, but I hadn't called him. And 2 minutes later, my phone rang, and it was my brother from another mother. And he was like, why you sound like you still sleeping? I was like, nah, that's because I'm hurting right now. My body was going through the tremors, the shakes. I was having back spasms. I started feeling like my mouth was getting dry. And I was like, man, I'm sick again, And he said, what you need? I said, I need some water and some ice hot pads. Boom. Got him, brought him to my house. And because of that, is that connection. Again, having those type of individuals in your life that can be there to help support you when you're going through. That's what you need.
Words to live by. Thank you so much. All right.